Hello, it is Saturday, April 16th, and I am about to start The Ghost at Dawn's House, which is book number 9 in the series. So obviously this book is going to focus mostly on Dawn, and we know from the other books in the series that she lives in like an old colonial home, has like a creepy attic. I think from the picture on the cover is what it looks like. It is Monday, April 18th, and I am officially 3 chapters completed in The Ghost at Dawn's House. I am on page 27. I am 21% of the way through, and so far not much has happened. Dawn is talking about the new old colonial house that she lives in and how she's sure that there's a secret passageway somewhere in it. So she invites Babysitters Club over to, search the house, but so far they haven't found anything. And now we're learning a little bit about a new family that they're babysitting for, the Perkins family. And they live in Christy's old house, so they live next to Marianne. I finished chapter 8. I am 61 pages in, which is 51% of the way through. Things at Dawn's house are getting interesting, and she is finding some creepy things. So we'll see what's going on. I forgot to mention one thing that I'm finding interesting is that Marianne's dad and Dawn's mom are no longer dating in this book. Dawn is really annoyed and said she's okay with her mom dating if it's Marianne's dad. But besides that, she's not interested in her mom dating, and her mom has been going out with a couple different guys. So I'm not sure what's going on. No one has addressed what happened between them, and I'm thinking they don't know. So, yeah. Okay, Dawn's actually finding things at her house, and then she gets really freaked out, and she calls her mom to come home when her mom's on a date. And her mom brings home her date, and Dawn and her brother hate him because he's not Marianne's dad. Duh. Well, I'm about to start chapter 11. I'm on page 78, and I'm 66% of the way through. And I'm excited to see where this goes. We have to talk spoilers for a second. I'm going to hold up my hand, and when the hand goes away, I won't be done talking about spoilers. Okay, really quick. Dawn has found a secret passageway in her home, and it's really creepy. But what's even creepier is that someone is actually in it, and I can't think of any character that it could be that wouldn't be really creepy and weird. But now, actually, as I'm thinking about it, I think that it's Nicky Pike because he found somewhere to cool off that was dark and dusty. I think it's Nicky Pike. All right, I have officially finished The Ghost at Dawn's House, and it was a very anticlimactic and disappointing ending, if I do say so. We don't have an answer, and I hate that. Like, there's legitimate evidence to point that something weird is going on, and we just don't know. I don't like it. But I finished it, so we'll be moving on to number 10. It is Saturday, May 21st. It has been a while. We have had a stomach bug go through all of us, and then now we have COVID. So, as of this morning, Callum and I are positive for COVID. We've been quarantining from Anthony since Tuesday when he was positive. But despite our best efforts, here we are. I'm okay. I have like a slight fever. I have a cough. I'm really tired. I'm like not really here. If you couldn't tell, I'm like very foggy. A little congestion, but really the cough is like the hardest thing, and it's been manageable. I recently finally got book number 10, which is Logan Likes Marianne. So I have this, and then I also have book number 11, which is Christy and the Snobs. So let's get started. Hi everybody, it is now Thursday, May 26th. I did read 19 pages of Logan Likes Marianne after my last video, and then I fell asleep. I had to finish a different library book this week, but now I need to read Logan Likes Marianne today because Christy and the Snobs, which is book 11, is due to the library tomorrow. So far the girls are entered into the new school year, and they're all kind of like split up. We know there's a new boy in school, and it's Logan Bruno, who has moved from Louisville, Kentucky, and Marianne has set eyes on him, and she thinks that he is the cutest boy. So we shall see where this goes. But obviously it's called Logan Likes Marianne. So I think it's going to be a two-way love connection. So we'll see how Marianne's dad handles that. I'm 60 pages in, which is 42% of the way through Logan Likes Marianne. I am just loving it. Marianne just went with Logan to a babysitting job to kind of like check him out and see if he's good enough to be a member of the Babysitters Club. And it seems like Logan passed. And it was just really cute. Marianne and Logan went to a dance together. But Marianne was a little sensitive and kind of ruined the night. So that's disappointing. This book is really making me feel nostalgic for those middle school dance days. It's pretty crazy, actually. Logan is now an associate member of the Babysitters Club, which means he does not have to go to the meetings because it's uncomfortable and awkward to be the only boy, but he can get the jobs that they can't take on. I think that this book was possibly my favorite so far. I really like Marianne. I like her perspective on things. And I feel like she is self-reflective, and I can appreciate that. And I'm excited for her. Her dad is more understanding. Like, he's like letting her date. I guess he's cool now. He just seemed way too severe at the beginning of all this, which I've talked about countless times. So we'll stop talking about Mr. Spear. Marianne and Logan are in love, and I think they're going steady. They just haven't like said you're my boyfriend or you're my girlfriend. But the author's note said she's the first to have this steady boyfriend. And I guess this is now the point that the Babysitters Club is going to stay frozen in time. That they're not going to be getting any older. So they're in 8th grade now. They aged up from where they were previously in the series, but now we're just going to stay in the 8th grade. I've been thinking about the fact that these girls are going to be stuck as 8th graders for the entire rest of the series, and I'm actually kind of sad. I think I wouldn't want them to get too old, but I think like 16 would have been a nice age to see them cap at. I am about to start Christy and the Snobs. Christy and the Snobs is obviously focusing on Christy and Christy's navigation of friendships now that she lives in a new neighborhood. I've been thinking about this a lot more since yesterday, and I just feel like there's no way that Anne M. Martin is going to be keeping these girls in the 8th grade for the rest of the entire series, because I'm only like 10 books completed and it's already been an entire like school year, and I feel like she can stretch out this year in their lives. But there's like over 130 books in this series. So you're telling me that the next 120 books are just going to happen over 1 year? Like, they're not going to have like random summer books that happen like every once in a while, meaning like more than one summer happens? Or do we just not care? And we're just like, oh, they stay this age forever. All these are just like random stories that happen during this 1 year. You know? And there's so many spin-off series. Like, so they just never get older. Like, so if they have like multiple boyfriends, it's just like all in this 1 year. Like, I don't know. It's not making sense to me. An update for where I'm at with Christy and the Snobs. I read 88 pages last night, so I'm 77% of the way through. Christy just remains like the most emotionally immature of the group. Like, she lashes out when she gets mad, and she's like really immature about it. She's in 8th grade and she's out here like sticking her tongue out at girls and being like, you're a snob. And hopefully we see some growth in that area, because I remember that irked me in her previous book. But this book is focusing on Christy's dilemma with not really knowing anyone in her new neighborhood, and she is taking babysitting jobs from the snobs in her neighborhood, and she does feel bad about it because she's not purposefully doing this. So she is starting to make headway by kind of, you know, acknowledging that is kind of crappy, and she's making friends, kind of. So we're starting to see the friendships forming, and I think that this will be good for Christy. All right, so I just finished Christy and the Snobs. It does have a happy ending for Christy and her family. And now the Babysitters Club has another, possibly 2, but definitely 1 more associate member. So Shannon Kilborn, the snobby girl who babysits in Christy's neighborhood, has now been asked to be an associate member, just like Logan in the last book. So they're really expanding, and things are going great for them. It is Monday, Memorial Day, May 30th. See my nice black guy from Callum the other day. I'm going back to work tomorrow. It'll be 2 weeks since I've been at work. I ended up looking through the rest of the series book titles to see if I could get a hint if Anna Martin does age up the girls, and she doesn't. They are really going to stay in 8th grade, and she does my girl Claudia dirty. Some of the things that are allowed to happen in this series would not happen anymore. We'll get to that much later in the series. Hi, long time no vlog. School ended and it was absolutely hectic, and I was taking a college course for professional development and I had so much homework. It was like 7 hours a week. So reading was tough, and when I was reading, I wasn't really in the mood for vlogging, so I was reading other things. But I'm back. It's summer vacation and we're gonna do this. Today is Friday. Tomorrow we have a wedding on July 2nd, and we also have a wedding on Sunday, July 3rd. So today's really like the only day this weekend that I'm probably gonna get any reading done. I'm gonna be starting number 12 in the Babysitters Club series, which is Claudia and the New Girl. I just finished chapter 1, and we have just met our new character, Ashley. So Ashley has just moved to Stony Brook. We don't know much about her except that she and Claudia spoke briefly and that they're both really interested in art. However, what I'm finding interesting about the beginning of chapter 2 is that Claudia says she has remedial math, for which she describes as math for kids who have a tough time with it, and she has a help session in the resource room. So maybe she just does have a disability and they're just not going to discuss it. I just finished chapter 3, and I don't know how I feel about Ashley. She's a little odd. She comes from Chicago. She's a very talented artist, and she's taken a liking to Claudia, but I can't tell if she's genuine or not. She talks like she's the best thing around, and I can't tell if I'm just taking it the wrong way. It's Saturday, July 2nd, and I didn't think I was going to be able to read today, but I'm in this weird limbo time where it's like too early to start getting ready for the wedding. And I have everything packed for Callum because he's staying overnight with some family. So I just kind of have like 20-ish minutes where I don't really have anything to do. So I'm just going to read a little bit more of Claudia and the New Girl. Claudia was babysitting at the Rodowski's house, and she was outside playing red light, green light, and Ashley came out because she's their new next door neighbor. She was very judgmental of what Claudia was doing. She was like, why do you have to babysit? How much free time are you wasting on babysitting? I focus on my art in my free time, and that's why I'm like good. I kind of feel like she's just a loner and doesn't really know how to have friends. She just seems very solitary, so maybe she's not trying to be a jerk, but she's making Claudia feel bad, and Claudia's second guessing everything at this point, and I don't love that. Okay, just finished chapter 5. And honestly, Ashley's being a little possessive girl. She is keeping Claudia away from the Babysitters Club, and she's basing it all on the fact that she likes art just as much as Claudia, and she's like, no one else will understand us. Let's go do these things. And she just doesn't have any care for Claudia's rest of her life. She's very snobby, I feel like, a little stuck up, and she doesn't think anybody else is really worth her time. It is the 4th of July, as you can tell from my shirt. But I'm reading a little bit more of Claudia and the New Girl. And I say this every single time I do an update, I cannot catch a vibe on Ashley. I do feel bad for Claudia because the reason she's latching onto Ashley so hard is because she finally feels like she's being accepted wholly as a person, and she's met someone who like actually understands all of her interests. The Babysitters Club is taking Claudia's ditching really hard though. Like, they're crying at their meetings. Dawn has come up with a rhyme that says, traitor, traitor, Claudia, we hate her. Traitor, traitor, so long, see you later. Goodbye, Claudia. And that kind of cracked me up. But they're taking it really hard. It is Saturday, July 9th. I'm gonna at least finish Claudia and the New Girl today. Claudia is babysitting the Rodowski boys in chapter 11, and Ashley has shown up again, and she's being a jerk. She's like, I don't understand why you waste your time on this uselessness watching children. Ugh, you're so sentimental. I cannot with this girl. So we'll see. All right, there was just a little showdown. I am excited because it seems like peace out, Ashley. Okay, I just finished Claudia and the New Girl. And I really liked this book because I do think it can be challenging when you're making new friends due to hobbies and extracurricular activities that you're interested in. Growing up, I did dance my whole life, so I had my dance friends and then my school friends, and they were kind of separated. And it is something that you have to navigate and figure out how everybody fits in. And so I do think that this is an important topic, and I really liked the way this book ended. So I really enjoyed it. Hey, it's future editing Amanda here, just to say that I realized Claudia and the New Girl was book 12. So this concludes my part 3 Babysitters Club vlog video. One last acknowledgement. I know that my videos are always like vertical and they don't take up the whole screen during these vlogs. I need to get better about it. I just really struggle with holding my phone sideways and keeping it still. I'm gonna try and work on that and get better about that. Then next time I see you, when I read book 13, which is Goodbye, Stacy, Goodbye, I believe, I will be seeing you in a brand new video. So thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.